How you doing, Amy?
Hi, Ray. Good to see you.
If you're not familiar with Amy, she is the CEO and co-founder of Planet Fuel. Planet Fuel is a line of organic juices. And why don't you tell us about the company, how you launched, what its purpose is?
So Planet Fuel is really a perfect reflection of two probably core influencers in my life. One is I'm a mom. I have 3 kids, and sort of the classic story of looking for healthy products for my own children and just not being able to find what we wanted.
Sure.
Got tired of being the no mom.
Yep.
So, I believe in organics, and it was pretty easy to control the intake at home. But as they got older and moved out as active consumers in the marketplace, you take stock of what brands are actually actively targeting that teen-tween consumer.
Right.
And building, us as educated consumers later, and we found that we didn't like what was available. And so that was a lot of the inspiration for building a really clean line of organic, clean label products. Concurrent with that, my background of environmental nonprofit work, which was what I did in my whole professional career prior to Planet Fuel, was also the inspiration for sort of the mission part of it, which I think we'll talk about as well.
Yeah, you have a charitable fund in which some of the proceeds go into this. And tell us about the fund and where the money goes.
Okay, so we were incredibly fortunate last year to establish the Planet Fuel Charitable Fund as its own individual operating fund, thanks to a generous donation from a local philanthropist in Connecticut. Yep. And it will go forward through local donations as well as 5% of revenues from our product sales. And the goal of the foundation or the fund is to support national and local environmental initiatives, which are near and dear to my heart, but to also really encourage that that premise that we are really responsible as consumers. We are responsible for being educated consumers and exercising tremendous power in choosing and supporting brands that are committed to doing good.
Right.
And we believe that brands that have that strong mission really are a keystone in moving the needle on a lot of social issues these days. And for us, that's the environment. So if we can inspire and activate consumers to be the future stewards of our planet, that's an added bonus for us as well. So
yeah, very important nowadays, as much as any time in the history of the world, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Now more than ever, right?
Yeah.
We just did a $50,000 grant to the Ocean Conservancy, which is a global, amazing science-based organization working on ocean health, and we also did a $50,000 grant to the Connecticut Fund for the Environment. So great partnerships.
Not insignificant money, for sure.
No.
We've seen a lot of cause-based marketing plays, or I don't want to use the word plays, but cause-based marketing sort of strategies with beverage companies. And a lot of times what we've seen is it's kind of difficult to do both, which is run a beverage company while being focused on the social mission. How are you able to balance that?
It's a great question, and there's no question that it's a challenge, but it's also what I think of as our greatest opportunity. Yep. And really, when we view that as why we exist, it's why Planet Fuel exists. So we can't have one without the other. And at the end of the day, there's no question we are a beverage brand,
right.
Or at least first we're beverage. Ultimately, maybe we'll be in snack as well. But there's no question that that Planet Fuel has to succeed in sales, or the fund is useless. That said, we view our go-to-market strategy very much about how we build partnerships through the fund and through our nonprofit partners that will really attract and build the loyalty with our consumers on a long-term basis.
And it feels like the go-to-market play for Planet Fuel, a big part of it is in the school system, right? How are you trying to target the school system, or how are you trying to get into the schools at this point?
Well, this is really interesting. We've talked a lot at this event for the last couple of days about sugar.
Yep.
And I want to just say something, because I think this is such an interesting piece of this. This conference is loaded with educated adults who really understand the influence of sugar in our diet, and I'm a big proponent of water and healthy products. But if you actually look at what's going on in the school system across this country, the products that the bulk of our school kids are consuming are loaded with sugar.
Yep.
So it isn't really viable to say, okay guys, change your palate, no sugar now. Right. So one of the things that we hope to do by being in an active disruptor in the school channel is to start to really pull the palate away from incredibly sickly, sweet, high sugar products. Our competitive set in the school channel is double to triple the amount of sugar in our
Yep.
product. So where this is 18 grams of sugar, some of our competitors are 35, 36 grams of sugar for an 8-ounce can. It's
Yep.
insane. So if we can start to teach the palate of young people that a considerably less sweet product tastes good, they go on as adults to really appreciate what they're doing. So we have signed on with one of the largest school distributors in New York and New Jersey, and in the process of one in Connecticut as well. And we're in a number of school systems. We're on the approved list in the Connecticut, for this state, the Connecticut State Department of Education's list of acceptable foods and beverages. It's wonky, but it's one of the most stringent in the country. And we feel that that's it's obviously a very high volume channel, but we feel it's a really important place for us to make a difference.
Yeah. Amy, this has been great. I really like what you're doing. I like your brand story and what you're trying to do. And
thank you.
It sounds like you're on the right track. So good luck with it. Please stay in touch. Let us know what you're doing.
Sure will.
Thanks
so much.
Appreciate it.
Have a great rest of the conference.
You too. Thanks so much.